Hi, in this video, contents related to UAV flight safety will be shared. The free movement of UAVs in the air carries many risks. The concept of flight safety consists of various parameters to minimize these risks and create a safe flight environments. Factors such as selecting a safe flight location, avoiding adverse weather conditions, ensuring UAV equipment safety, knowing basic flight rules, understanding UAV performance limits, knowing emergency procedures, taking additional precautions for night operations, the licensing status and experience of UAV operators, ensuring UAV operators' safety during flights, and ensuring the safety of large crowds are components of the flight's safety. Ignoring these factors can lead to serious accidents that may cause both financial damage and human injury or even death. For UAV operators and technicians, selecting the right location is crucial for safe flights. Before the flight, it is important to learn about airspace restrictions and consider the distance to airports. It is also necessary to identify temporary flight restrictions that may arise and review local drone regulations. Checking no-fly zones will enhance flight safety. When evaluating the physical environment, attention should be paid to obstacles such as trees, power lines, and buildings. Additionally, designating an emergency landing area for each flight and examining terrain and ground conditions will facilitate quick solution in case of an emergency. Avoiding permanently reflective surfaces like ponds and shiny exterior coatings and checking for source of magnetic interference and radio frequency interference will increase flight safety. Finally, assessing the population density in the area and taking measures to avoid harming people is necessary. Emergency procedures are important to ensure the safety of drone operations and reduce potential risk in unexpected situations. When a drone encounters signal loss, low battery level, or other critical conditions, it activates the return to home function. Using GPS coordinates, it automatically initiates the return mode to original takeoff point at preset altitude. Emergency landing procedures should include identifying safe, obstacle-free areas for controlled landing and taking measures to minimize potential damage to the drone and its surroundings. In case of crash risk, drone operators should quickly assess the situation, cut power to prevent further damage, conduct a thorough equipment inspection, and investigate the incident and its causes to take necessary precautions to avoid future occurrence. Proper training and adherence to emergency procedures can significantly reduce the probability of equipment loss and flight cancellation. Geofencing is a technology that uses GPS coordinates to create a virtual geographic boundaries. When a drone enters or exits a geofenced area, the drone's flight controller can be programmed to issue warnings, restrict flight altitude, or automatically land the drone. UAV operators and technicians should consider adverse weather conditions before the flight. Factors such as extreme cold, extreme heat, sudden strong winds, rain and snow, dust and particles can negatively affect the flight safety. Additionally, lighting conditions, low light or bright sunlight can affect the visibility of the UAV, and the operator equipment safety checks are crucial before the flight. In UAV systems, the battery level and the condition, proper propeller integrity and the connection, motor function and sound, and camera and gimbal parts should be checked. The body and the attached parts should also be inspected. If mobile devices are used as control screens, the mobile device charge level, remote control battery level, antenna condition and position, software updates, GPS signal strength, and return to home point setting must be checked. Basic flight rules are very important to UAV operators. First, it is recommended to maintain visual line of sight with the drone. Additionally, first-person view flight, which involves flying as if inside the drone, will be safer for complex flights. Also, consider the position of the sun when tracking the aircraft on the screen or taking precautions against bright light and when visually tracking. Altitude and distance limits should be observed, staying below the maximum legal altitude. For example, in Turkey, the Civil Aviation Authority, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, defines this altitude as 400 feet or 120 meters. Besides altitude, the distance of flight range should be regularly monitored. If there are obstacles such as buildings or settlements around, a safe distance from the obstacles should be maintained. For example, in Turkey, this distance is 50 meters. Not exceeding the UAV's limit is also important for flight safety. Exceeding the safe flight speed of the aircraft can increase the risk of the structural failure and loss of control. Flying at very high altitudes can lead to the decreased interest and control ability due to reduced air density. Strong winds can exceed the UAV's maneuverability, leading to drifting and accidents. Additionally, overloading the UAV can cause imbalance, reduced maneuverability, and shortened battery life, seriously endangering flight safety. In emergency procedures, if control is lost, when the battery level should be monitored, and appropriate emergency landing areas should be identified to enable a safe landing by activating the return to home function. If possible, maintaining visual contact is important. In system failures, issues such as battery, motor, or GPS signal loss should be identified, and connection interruptions should be checked. Precautions should also be taken against software failures. It is important to be familiar with emergency procedures, fail-safe and return-to-home functions. In night operations, additional lighting, ensuring proper visibility, and taking visibility measures for the drone are important. UAV operators must meet certain requirements to perform their duties safely and efficiently. Licensing status, sufficient flight hour experience, and specialized training for the mission are important. Efficient and effective UAV operators depend on understanding human factors that affect flight safety and performance. Decision-making under complex flight scenarios requires not only technical expertise but also physiological resilience and clear cognitive skills. Operators should be knowledgeable about emergency procedures, be in good physical condition, maintain mental alertness, and be familiar with the flight area. Technical proficiency, risk assessment ability, and strong communication skills are also important for operators' success. Operators' safety starts with physical safety. It is important for the operator to position themselves safely according to the flight route, maintaining a safe distance during takeoff and landing, wearing appropriate protective clothing, and ensuring environmental awareness are necessary. Additionally, protecting against the sun, maintaining hydration balance, and wearing weather-appropriate clothing are required to protect against environmental effects. Regarding the safety to large crowds, a safe distance should be maintained from people around the flight area and, if possible, inform them about the flight. Using safety barriers when necessary and providing a brief briefing on emergency procedures are also important. Respecting privacy, avoiding unauthorized surveillance, and complying with data protection regulation are essential. In this section, we covered UAV flight safety requirements. I hope the contents have been helpful. See you in the next content. Goodbye.